Hey, guys, I'm doing another interesting video for you guys. So I thought I'd do a part 2 to the last video I recorded, which is how to make a horse commander deck, basically. And I thought it'd be interesting to follow up with a part 2. Um, for this kind of video. So the thing I'll be doing in part 2 is, let's say that you've played about a month or so, maybe 2 months, and you want to, maybe consider doing some more upgrades to it. So that's what I want to show you guys in this video is, possible upgrades that you can do with the deck. So I'm going to go through, so let's say that this might have not been too useful in your second. Well, actually, first let me show you what the options are for upgrading the deck. So, more attacks, attacking creatures, gain trample. Creatures exposed you control with power 5 or greater cannot be countered. More trample, and then basically fighting their creature, basically. So that's kind of part 1 options. And then here's part 2. So this is mainly for like the land room or land door, basically. The first greenhouse thing. This thing's gonna be disgusting. Orchwine Worm is going to be crazy too. And then Wilderness Reclamation. So, and that's basically it for the options that I've thought of. I mean, I'm sure there's probably more, but now to show you guys how to adjust the deck. So, there's 11 different cards that you can consider doing. So, let's say Lightning Mirror wasn't quite as useful as what you thought it might be. So, take it out for, something else. Mr. Pepper would probably be pretty good. Let's say this wasn't quite as good as what, could have been for getting back a card from the grave. So, you can take that out. Let's say that this wasn't quite as good either, so you can opt to take this out too. I mean, once the enchantment goes, then all the counters that's on it basically goes away. So let's say, for example, they got rid of it and all the counters went away in your pod or something like that. And let's say that you weren't getting over, the life that you were for this to happen for several more. So I'd be taking it out. Let's say that this wasn't quite as good either. So take that out. So that's already 5 right there. Let's say this was a little too much for a mana cost, so you can take that out. And then let's say Defense of the Heart wasn't quite as active, or let's say active, triggering as much as what you had light, so you can take that out. I'm just throwing in like what ifs, basically. Let's say, for example, this wasn't doing quite as much as what you had thought, so you can take that out. Or let's say, for example, like Death Render wasn't doing it quite as much as what you had thought it might be, so you can take that out as well. So that's so that's 9 cards that you can possibly take out depending on what your pod's like, or how the deck does, or whatever. So, and in its place, you can possibly do the cards that I showed you. So you can maybe do this one to maybe give trample, or possibly this for not being countered for power greater. I said more trample, but it's a like basic continuous effect instead of like a trigger. So I think probably this one would be probably a little bit more better. And then you could probably do that as well, where you fight a target creature or another target creature, because this might be pretty useful to help get rid of some little dudes. So, but it all depends on what your guys' thought process is and stuff like that too. Because yours may be, or will definitely be different than what mine is, but so that's 3 possible options. You could definitely probably keep this in here depending on how it goes. Same thing with Finale of Devastation. This you might keep out or take out depending on how it goes with this. But the Shire, same thing depending on how it goes, is like you could definitely have it in for just something else very, very big. This could get possibly disgusting, so I definitely consider keeping this in. Witchbane Worm, it's like 11, so depending on how things go with this too, you definitely consider adding some other things in here to help it bring out faster. So definitely an option. And then this would probably definitely be something I'd keep in just in case. So especially if you add I think it's Vivian is the one that gives your spells flash basically from the hand. So if you pick that up too, I think there's one that does that. I think it's the Ikoria one, I think. Or I could be thinking of a different one, but I know there's a green planeswalker that gives your spells flash. So that's definitely one to consider for this as well. And I know there's a green creature that does the same thing too, where your green spells have flash. So, but definitely some different things to consider for that as well. So, but yeah, that's I think basically it. Here's the lands. You could probably maybe change up the lands a little bit. Depending on your resource pool and stuff like that. But I think for the time being, for this, I think the lands will be fine. But you may have more triomes or more resources to use than what I do. So, again, it's all opinions and kind of open to however you want to adjust the deck. So, but just kind of my thoughts and opinions on what could possibly be taken out and kind of adjusted and stuff like that, depending on how the deck goes and testing and stuff like that for you guys. So, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and I will control her. Alright, I guess.